Today I am back with LEGO Fortnite. In the previous episode, I'd completed the game by destroying 3 elemental bosses and building the village to level 10. But that's not everything in this game, there are still tons of contents. So in today's episode, I will build another village in the desert biome to unlock more new buildings with new villagers. Build a monorail train connecting the 2 lands for easier travel, and create some crazy inventions. Now let's get started. My first job before moving to the desert to live was to pack up my stuff. I gathered the necessary resources to be able to upgrade the village to level 10. But of course, I can't carry everything all at once. So when I run out of resources, I have to come back here. This trip will be very long, so everyone will probably miss me a lot. Or maybe not. When I get to the desert biome, I will have to clear all the piles of wood and rocks on the ground so that I can have flat ground to build a second village. That night, a brute attacked me again. Perhaps it was angry when someone broke into its territory. But now I'm the owner of this place. It will have to listen to my orders. My fighting skills with the brute are now much more pro, so I can fight in close combat and dodge attacks very simply. When preparing to build the village, I realized that I was lacking a lot of resources and had to travel between the 2 villages a lot. So I decided to build a modern means of transportation, which is a monorail up high in the sky. It sounds very cool, but it's not too complicated. First, I destroyed the super high staircase I had built before and built a train station at the starting point, then made a path with a 16 by 2 by 1 piece like this. This track will extend from the desert to my old village. After an extremely long time, I finally finished. Looking up from below, I see that it is quite beautiful and majestic. Next, we have to build stairs over here to make the second stop, then start building the train. This was the first time I built a fan-made structure, so I encountered many difficulties. Step 1 is to place the platform on a wooden block, then place 2 floor pieces below to hold onto the rails. After that, destroy the wooden block so that the foundation separates from the rails and can be moved. Then place a foundation underneath to attach the 2 sides together. And that's 50% of the train. Then we have to add 4 balloons at the 4 corners. It will make the train lighter and move faster without much friction onto the tracks. Then I have to do another half like this on the opposite side. After completion, each end of each part must have 3 thrusters attached. Each side is a different direction of movement. When activating the switch on either side, the train will move in that direction and the other way around because currently the game only allows activating one direction. And that's our monorail. Now I can travel very conveniently. After that, I repaired and upgraded the train station to make it more solid, because if I'm not careful, all this work will collapse if the starting point is destroyed, since all of these are being held by just one staircase. I even tried upgrading the train to be more modern, like building a roof, adding chests and crafting tables, but something seems to be not quite right. Yep, this is the reason why I need 2 separate parts for the train. And the weight seems too heavy so the thrusters cannot push it. Anyway, that's fine. My job now is to upgrade the village and start building the first structure. The buildings here are different from those in the plains because most of them are made of stone, so they are somewhat more solid. If you don't know, each biome will have its own theme. In the desert, it is medieval, so the buildings here will be fortified castles. I thought the snowy biome was medieval because there were skeletons and soldiers wearing medieval armor, but in the desert, there were cowboy enemies. So here the Wild West theme is more reasonable. I focus on building all the buildings here. Every time I upgrade the village and recruit new villagers, I have to build a new building. When I complete 2 luxury villas and upgrade the village to level 7, I have to prepare a lot of resources to build a mansion, larger than the previous 2, so I need to go back to get more materials. I also have the help of this brute friend. This friend is very kind to assist me in harvesting resources. This building is extremely large and beautiful, with a yard and gate like a king's residence. Because it's the best house, it's mine, of course. After that, I upgraded the village to another level and had to go look for materials again. This project needed 400 stones, twice as much as the previous one. It was more like a castle than a place to live in, and would be suitable for the knights. After that, I have to go back to the cave to mine more minerals, specifically bright core and ruby, to upgrade the village and make more structures. I found a huge lava lake deep in the cave. It looked extremely beautiful. It looked like molten gold flowing into a stream. After upgrading the village to level 10 and recruiting the last member, I built the most advanced building here, which is a giant castle, bigger than anything I've ever built so far. It's even so big that I can't build it inside the village border, so I have to build it far away in the back. Maybe if I know how to arrange them, it can fit perfectly inside. Anyway, I continue to collect resources. And now I discovered that this boulder can be broken into 2 smaller stones and can even be lifted up and thrown away. Once I got all the materials, I started building. This king's castle has 4 main buildings, connected by corridors, 1 for living, 1 for working, and 2 for defense. In the middle, there was a very large yard where additional furniture could be built for decoration. And that was every building in the desert village. But that's not all. Next, I will build a wall around the entire village because the ground here is not flat. Some places are higher and some lower, so I have to repair quite a lot to make it look better. At first, I ignored the ground below and just made a straight wall, but it looked so bad, so I had to break it down and repair it. Then I decorated the village a little more to make it better just a bit. And that's it. I have 100% completed the desert village. More precisely, the desert kingdom. But that's not all. Next, I will build another fan-made structure, which is a trebuchet. Step 1 is to build a base with the size of 3 x5 blocks. Then build 2 support pillars on both sides. Above is a support made from fences. Then there's the catapult arm, which is made this way so it's not permanently attached to the body. Next is the hand part to hold the stones, and underneath is a thruster to launch. That's right, that's how it operates. The more thrusters it has, the stronger it will shoot. But if it's too strong, it's easy to fly away and break the hand. I tested this machine a few times, but most of them couldn't shoot over the castle wall. So I have to make a lot of changes. And in the end, I succeeded. I hope no one was hit by the stone. If it hit any building, there would be terrible destruction. After that, I experimented with playing around a bit. And then this happened. So the arm is broken. How unfortunate. The last creation I want to make is a super modern car that can drive and turn left and right. That's something that can't be done at the moment. So we have to create a way to do it, which is quite complicated. First, we need to build the foundation. And to steer left and right, we need 2 separate thrusters on each side. So we have to build 2 wooden cages on both sides and then drop 2 thrusters inside. These 2 blocks will not be attached to the base, otherwise it will be merged into one piece. Then on the back are attached 4 thrusters and a switch to move forward. And that's basically how this car works. Even though there are still quite a few errors in the first model, its operating mechanism is like that and quite easy to understand. The limitation of this invention is that it will break if it hits something hard on the way. Then I have to repair and upgrade a bit to be able to operate more smoothly. I have to control all 3 switches at once, so if anyone is not used to it, they definitely won't be able to drive this car. After driving for a while, this happened. So with just one bite, the wolf swallowed the whole car. Unbelievable. My disappointment is unmeasurable and my day is ruined. From now on, I will smash every wolf I see, not just the male, female, and children too. And that's 200 days of survival in the LEGO world. Like and subscribe.